Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have another episode of Tanks You Just Don't See. Yes, we're going to look at the WZ11114. This is a tech tree tank, a tier 9 tech tree tank that you just very rarely see. Now, I'm not saying that it's never there. Of course it's there. People do play it. They want to play and they want to grind for the WZ113. But considering the WZ113 has been such a popular tank over the years, you just don't really see this tank. Like, you see it the odd game, but nowhere near as much as you would expect to see a tank like this that people want to grind to get to that tier 10. But yeah, it's always been a tank that I've loved. Ever since it was first released into the game. When it was first released, it was one of my favourite tier 9 tanks. The DPM's nothing special. I mean, 2,300. Reload time is 11.8. Penetration is 246 on your AP. 320 on your heat. You can get that higher if you want to run calibrated shells, and 65 on that HE. So not too bad. It does have a 460 alpha gun, which is nice, 390 on your heat, and a very nice 600 on your HE. So, you know, stat-wise, it's not too bad for a tier 9 tank, a tier 9 sort of really heavy tank. It's not got the DPM, of course, that the WZ113's got, because, yeah, the WZ113, as we know, is pretty much the highest DPM heavy tank in tier 10. Yeah, this tank really isn't about that DPM. It's just like a heavy, like a normal heavy, like an IS-7, like IS-8 kind of vibes. Yeah, it's not really about that DPM, but only has 5 degrees of gun depression as well, 4.4 on your aim time, 0.344 on that dispersion. So it's not too great when it comes to that, but overall, you know, it can perform. Yes, it does perform a lot better against tier 8s than it does tier 10s, but it's still one of those tanks that can still hold its own when you are up against tier 10s. The armor profile, nothing special. I mean, the turret can be very nice. Of course, you can get bounces on that turret quite easily, even if you are up against tier 10. But yeah, you have to sort of play it to your advantage when it comes to that. Again, you don't have no gun depression, so it is kind of hard. It does make it tricky to get on the ridge lines, because yeah, you can get bounces on the turret, but you won't be able to get your shot off. With 5 degrees of gun depression, you do have to expose your tank quite a lot. Is it a tank I definitely think is worth having in your garage? Nowadays, probably not, no. There are, of course, other better heavy tanks out there. You know, you've got the E75 for one. Is one of the best tier 9 tanks if you play it correctly. But yeah, you can still perform well in this tank. You know, you can get the bounces. I've got 420 so far, and I'm sure I could easily get more. You know, that was a troll shot on that back chat there. Not my fault at all. It's the tank's fault. So you can see this C5. I don't know what he was doing. I thought he was just coming aiming at me then, like ignoring everybody else and coming for me. But I managed to get the kill. So 1 kill, just 900 damage. It is quite a difficult tank to get the damage, to be fair. Yeah, there's going to be the odd game that you can get the damage, but it's not a tank that you see doing massive amount of damage every single game. But yeah, you know, it's definitely worth grinding, because at the end of it, you get the tier 10 WZ113, which is one of the best DPM tanks. If you're used to playing heavy tanks, but you're not used to playing heavy tanks with DPM, then yeah, I would definitely give the WZ113 a go, because, you know, with the reload it's got, the DPM it's got, it does make a really good heavy tank. Just, you know, different. It's different. It's got a very nice turret. However, other than that, other than the DPM, the tank isn't fantastic, but yeah, it's definitely still worth grinding. The 113 is definitely still worth grinding. Would I skip this tank to get to the 113? Do you know what? Probably not. No, nowadays, looking back at it, I never skipped it anyway, because like I said, when Wargaming released the line, I actually enjoyed this tank. Like, I really did. Just like the Motion, you know, when that was first in the game, I loved it. But looking back at the Motion now, I'm like, how did I ever love this tank? It really is, it really does suck. This doesn't suck. This tank doesn't suck. Of course, you need to play it right. If you do play it wrong, then yeah, you might get ripped apart. But you play it correctly, then you can perform really, really well in the tank. And again, it is one of those tanks that if you are up against tier 8s, then yeah, you might perform better than you are if you are, or you might think the tank is better than it actually is. I'm not saying it's a bad tank, but of course it does perform a lot better against those tier 8 tanks. So so far this game, you know, it's a 4 versus 3. Of course I want to clear the back chat there, but I don't get the opportunity. So he's going to die, the SU's going to die, so it is now just the Leopard 1 remaining. Now again, love the Leopard 1, fantastic. So I do still need to be careful of his DPM, fantastic DPM, and you can see here, like, given the chance in the open, they can penetrate you very, very easy. They don't really even have to aim. If you're in the open, they can just shoot and he will be able to penetrate you, no problem whatsoever. So yeah, just this last tank left alive. I've still done all right, you know, 3.5k damage. We're just about to win on supremacy points. Of course, I do want to cut the Leopard 1 off as he's coming around the corner, but again, he tricks me again, and he sort of backs on himself, and he goes up there. So I do have the K91 for a bit of cover. To be fair, I should have probably gone left here to actually cut him off, so he would have had to come one way. Because yeah, but I do have the support from the Object 907 now, and I'm hoping to just at least get one more shot off, but yeah, I've just completely wasted that. I should have gone left. I would have got another shot, but yeah, sadly I didn't, but it is game over. So yeah, you know, I still performed okay, 3.5k damage. Again, you're not going to get too much damage in the tank unless you get pretty lucky, but overall I do think it's a nice tank. It's just a shame that you don't see as much of these tanks on the battlefield than you once did. So now we're just going to fast forward it. We're going to head over to this replay because it's a decent replay, and I'm hoping it does showcase that it can perform, especially when you are up against those tier 8 tanks. So far this game, 1800 damage. Of course I did miss some a couple of minutes out, or a minute and a half out, but we've also blocked 760 damage as well. Now of course I don't want to just come out sideways, especially when there is a tortoise looking straight at me. One shot to the tracks and he'll be able to perma-trap me. So I do want to watch out for him, but also there are quite a few tanks around here. So I've already lost a decent amount of hit points. So yeah, I'm sort of want to play it a bit more safer. Now the Mil2's there, get a nice shot. Even with heat, I still managed to get over 400 damage, which isn't too bad. And again, this is just about being patient, you know, because if I come out sideways, then yeah, of course, I'm just going to get absolutely ripped apart. Don't know how that bounced there. No idea how that bounced into the rear of a Chimera. But so far, our team has got 3 tanks down. Not the best of battles for our team, but you know, I'm still doing damage. I'm still here, and I'm still surviving at the moment. Now, there is the E75. I do get a nice bounce from him. And yeah, I managed to get the shot as well. But really, we want to clear the one shots. You know, the tortoise is there, very low hit points. The T77 down there. I want to be clearing the one shots, but I don't want to sacrifice ourselves to get that shot. And of course, the ISU 152 is there, and we do manage to clear him. So yeah, you know, we're not going to talk about the battle. We just wanted some footage, really. And overall, it is a brilliant. It can be. I'm not saying it's a fantastic tank. It can be a good tank when played in the right position. If you're in the open, yeah, your armor profile isn't special. You can still, of course, get the bounces, but it's not known for a tank to be like really heavily armored. Like frontally, it's not an E75. You know, it's definitely not an E75, so you're not going to get as many bounces. You have to be sort of hold down, maybe side scraping as well. Then that is where you'll be able to get those bounces, and you'll be able to perform really, really well. So that's about it, guys. That is about it. Let me know, do you play this tank, the WZ1141, 113, 11, whatever, 111? It's got a load of ones in it, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, I think it's a nice tank. I do think it's a nice tank, but you have to play it correctly. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this tank. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all very, very soon. Bye-bye. With